Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the El Michelle Show on Focus Radio. How are y'all doing today? Oh my goodness, I got so much to tell you all. It's unbelievable. I have so much to tell. First of all, I want to say hello to my Focus Radio family. Hello to everybody in Charlotte, Roanoke, the DMV, that means Maryland, DC, and Virginia area, Atlanta, just everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And I want you to share. And if you don't have the app, download the app on the Google Play Store and the iOS apps stores. Okay, download the app so that you can listen in and tell your friends, because we got a lot to talk about. But what I want to share is, let me tell you how the weekend was. Had a phenomenal time in Roanoke, Virginia. Lord knows, that means Roanoke, I'm coming. That's what it means. Roanoke, I'm coming. What it means is that this weekend past, I was in Houston, Texas. We had our launch for I'm a Survivor book. And let me tell you, you have to get the book. You have to get it. When I tell you the stories that are coming from this book, the testimonies that are coming from folks that have the book, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You go to www.iamasurvivorbook.com/Lynette, LYNNETTE-Jewel, JEWELL, and get the book. Give it to somebody that you know that is a survivor from domestic violence, bullying, rape, physical abuse, emotional abuse, I'm going blank, suicide, depression, anxiety, and domestic violence and family violence. If you need them, they need to get this, because it will change your life. I'm telling you, it will change your life. And then so kudos to Michelle Lee Evans. Thank you for the vision for this right here. I'm telling you, this is a game changer, y'all. My life has not been the same since I decided to no longer be silent. I'll get back on that. And then last Tuesday night, oh my goodness, Community Unity. Oh my goodness. The women that put on the candlelight visual, I was honored to be the guest speaker. Just a phenomenal cast ladies. Ariane. I'll call her Ari. That's what I call her, Ari. Odom invited me. She also bought the book, and it was just a blessing to be a part of the 10th annual Candlelight Visual and honoree ceremony for people that were victims of domestic violence. Their families were there. So they lit a candle for them. And I want to give a special shout out and a prayer to one of the speakers. I just don't remember his name, but this young man got up and spoke, and this was his first time speaking about what happened to him, and it was phenomenal. I mean, when people start to tell their story, you definitely have to listen. When people have something to say, y'all don't turn them away. Definitely make sure that you take the time to listen. People are hurting. People are suppressing, and they're dealing with so much. And I just want to just share that, and that the experience that I've had in my life, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but there's tons of people that are hurting, and we need to share our experience, because that can open up the door for somebody else. We have tons of people that have no one to talk to. We're dealing with domestic violence. We're dealing with survivors, and just definitely want to shed a light on that needs to be. And then I have Miss Shantelle Evans is actually coming back to to talk about her gala this weekend and let us know a little bit more about what the gala is about. And I'm just waiting for Miss Evans now to get here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just continue on talking about Tuesday night. I was in Prince Frederick. I was in Maryland, and it was at the. Let me make sure I get the correct name all right. It was the Harriet Elizabeth Brown Center, and it was sponsored by the Calvert County Commissioner for Women and Calvert County Health Department and Crisis Intervention Center. When I tell you that there was just so much, that it was just such a blessing. I got to see folks from my school from high school that was there, didn't know it was there, some people from my church, and it was just a blessing just to give an encouraging word to the families that also have family members that are gone because of domestic violence, that they still need to have a voice and they still need to speak on behalf of their family member that's gone, because their voice still needs to be heard, their story still needs to be told. And when you tell somebody's story, y'all got to understand that there's a lot behind that. And people need to understand that there is a greatness behind the story of a testimony. And I just want people to know that when your voice is being heard, things are happening, things are changed. My life has not been the same since I decided to tell my story. And when you have your story, it makes a difference. I can't stress enough about this book. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a little break, and I'll be right back, and we're going to have Shantelle Evans. So stay tuned. Hello, hello, hello. Look who I have here. I have Miss Shantelle. What's up, homie? How you doing? How you doing, girl?
I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm blessed.
I know that's right.
Howdy, baby.
And I'm still jet lagged. I'm jet lagged. Girl, I've been traveling. I have Shantelle back on here today because this weekend she has a special event that's going on. You want to tell everybody what's going on this weekend?
The Let's Heal Together Domestic Violence and Human Trafficking Gala is going on this weekend. It's Saturday.
Woo!
Yay.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
How excited are you? You have she has a gala going on this weekend here in Charlotte. And the reason why I'm going to let you tell. What was the purpose of your gala? Why gala? Of other thing, you could have had whatever. Why gala? What's the purpose of the gala?
Oh, a gala. I say a gala because so this is Domestic Violence Month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, breast cancer too. So we do a lot of things to make, we cover up a lot of stuff. So I wanted to have the gala. I wanted everybody to show up, feeling good, all made up. Everything. I wanted people to understand that even though we cover up things, and even though I'm looking all cute on here today,
so am I. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's cute. See, that's my inspiration. So a long story short, we often dress up. We go to the Met counter. We go to all these beautiful places, and we cover up a lot of things that's inside of us. So I wanted to have a gala because I wanted to really send a message that even though we're all going to be beautiful, we all going to be at our fabulous, our makeup, our hair, our nails, everything will be good, we all still suffer with the same thing. We all still fight against depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts, just things like that. And I wanted to really send a message out to say that even though I look like this outside, you need to understand that it's something else on the inside. Yes. So I wanted to kind of have all of the unique gifts and blessings come all fixed up and wrapped up. And eventually we would kind of say that we are beautiful survivors, but we are surviving our circumstances. And you could be walking down the street and somebody see you, they say, oh, you know, she ain't going through nothing, you know, because she looked like this, or, you know, her nails did, her makeup, you know, people tend to think that you didn't go through anything. You're not going through anything. And I just want to show people that, you know, we all are going through something, whether we admit it or not. We all are surviving something. Sometimes we are abusive to ourselves. Sometimes we dress up and we still feel like it's not good enough. We feel like, you know, well, and I like to question, did you do this for yourself or did you do it for somebody else?
And a lot of times it's for somebody else.
Right.
Until we go through a hard reality check and then we turn it back to being where it's about us.
Right.
And a lot of times it's almost like, what was the name of the movie that everybody looked all good? It was something witches or something. Something the lady was in front and they pulled the mask off, the hair back, and they were all just messed up in their control, but they look good on the outside.
Right.
But when you peel those layers off,
yes.
you peel so in other words, what she's trying to say is that we're gonna look good and fabulous, and then she's gonna break it down, and then we're gonna look like we done went through a makeup or splash party.
I just say put extra glue on your lashes, ladies, because we might cry.
No, we're going to cry.
Just so put extra glue on your lashes, bring your makeup bag, because we're going to have to go in that bathroom and
retouch them like raccoons in the whole 9 yards.
Yes. But so to see that total transformation, you know, ugly places just being beautiful again, and surviving ugly circumstances, but still making it beautiful and showing the strength in it. You know, like things, I had this thing where I listened to something that said it had to happen. You know, those unhealthy relationships had to happen for you to understand what a healthy relationship looked like, even if it's just with yourself. So just understanding that these things had to happen for us to be beautiful again. And even when we take off our dresses and our attire, we're still going to uncover really who we are. So to heal together, just bridge a support system. So,
and you know, I got to see what some people are saying. Hello, I hear you right on. But one of the things the reason why I wanted to bring Shantelle back this weekend, back this time, because of her event that's going on this weekend, one, because I'm going to be a host on it, Focus Radio is going to be at the gala, but we still need to bring awareness to this. It just doesn't stop after the gala. It's going to continue on. I'm going to continue on talking about domestic violence, family violence, bullying, suicide,
childhood abuse,
whatever it is in there, it's all in there, because we need to also, you know, my thing like this. We have child abuse or childhood from growing up, but it's everybody. So we just can't. I look at it now. It's everybody across the board. You know, you just think of bullying is just kids. No, grown adults that are being bullied.
Yes.
Suicide. It's not just adults. It's now kids. You understand what I'm saying? And domestic violence. Come on, we just had an incident this summer. Actually, was it this summer? Probably during the school season in Great Mills, Maryland. Down in St. Mary's. It wasn't a terrorist. It wasn't shooting. It was over girlfriend, boyfriend speaking to somebody else, and look what happened. 2 lives. 2 lives are gone. So it just doesn't happen just with the kids. It's adults. So all of these issues, it can start from being molested as a child on up into your adult life, and then it's passed on to another. But what we do is we suppress it. And what happens, I keep saying, you keep suppressing, and that pressure cooker, and you wonder why some people blow. You wonder why some people blow. And when you talk about it, and then when you put yourself around people and you're talking about it, then what happens is that it opens up doors for healing. And this is what we don't do. We just take another Band-Aid, put it on, and then when that scab falls off, you're left with a wound, but it's hard. What happened? Because you didn't get a chance to talk about it. You didn't get a chance to experience what's going on. And then also he says, also with domestic violence, but also with the sex trafficking. Any latest updates on anything that's going on?
In Charlotte for sex trafficking?
With that, and with also with anything that's going on with you? Any new stuff that's going on?
New stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Sex trafficking is always new. Every
I mean,
day.
well, I know that is. Well, it's a two-part question because we know there's a lot that's going on. But any updates or anything that's going on different or anything new since we talked with you going on with your conquest or quest or mission?
Well,
I'm just saying. But I need y'all to share. So this is important, y'all. Everybody's affected by this. I don't know anybody that's not. And if you haven't been affected, then bless you. Mm-hmm. Because you're one of the ones that made it. But everybody's been affected by something or have somebody or know somebody.
Right. Well, as far as like the sex trafficking, I know the only I met somebody new who worked in the field.
Okay.
So they will be at the gala. It is an organization that houses, and they're in Concord. And so I know yesterday I was sitting talking with them, and we found out that it's really not a lot of places in Charlotte that's really funding the whole issue with human trafficking. Oh, wow. And yeah, so we had to talk about that and how that looked for victims, because they didn't even know about that this gala was going on. So I'm finding out that it's a disconnect as far as Charlotte, and then maybe networking with the surrounding areas.
We're gonna change that. We're going to change that. So.
Yeah. So, and I'm working hard to change it. I am just really reaching out to outside people. The numbers are continuing to increase, but the new thing, I know recently last week it was, I think, about 120 children that were found and captured from human trafficking. So that's amazing. So kudos to that. And I'm just really now going to the point where I'm reaching outside of Charlotte to pull things in Charlotte.
Okay.
And it's not easy, but it's definitely worth the work that we're doing. So that's really, I'm just finding out like who provides housing, who provides clothing and electricity, and I mean not electricity but funding to keep your lights on and things like that. Because what I am finding out is that there is no funding for the survivors. So a lot of people go back to the trafficking because when you leave, you lose housing, you lose stability, you lose your mind even if you stay or go. But people still need money, they still need to eat, and even as myself and my family, when we're going out and looking for different resources and things like that, there are barely any. And so what I have decided to do this week, I made a big decision to just really go full time with this. So I will be saying bye-bye to the nail salon, just totally, as far as being in there. I'm not saying bye-bye to nails.
This who did this.
But I
lost one, but okay. There's no little gang signs, but y'all, she's amazing. That would be a negative on sometimes.
So no, I'm not.
No, but I understand because you have to.
I can't be in a salon and still find the resources for the people too. Right.
And it's going to come because what we're going to do at Focus Radio, I already know what's going to happen once people start seeing this. How can they get in contact with you?
The best way right now to get in contact with me, either via social media, Shantelle Evans.
With an S.
Yeah, SHANTELLE. Shantelle Evans, and I'm more active on Facebook than Instagram. My apologies.
We'll get her there.
Yeah, I will. And then you can always email me. I'm good at emails. So Unique Blessings with the S on the end, period, 704@gmail.com.
Stevie, can you hit me, Stevie? Go ahead.
Yeah, so or just find you and then you can find me. So that's a good thing too. So because I'll be honest, one thing that I'm learning and just with me trying to pull myself apart every way, I'm kind of being exploited myself. And so that's new. This week I had therapy and my therapist told me that I've been exploited. So it's not funny, but that's what my therapist told me. And And so I have
Y'all, this is our first doing here. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I have to make sure that I'm protected.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And so because this is not an issue that you don't have cheerleaders being happy saying, "Yay, she's gonna go around and expose people."
Stevie on point. She put up with Stevie.
Okay, hey girl. But so you don't have people really going around like behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. They'll have a talk with you and say, "Yeah, I support you." But when it really comes down to you get a case or you get a phone call and it's time to show up, if they have to face some big dogs, they are not showing up.
Definitely.
So really, not being funny or smart, but I like to be consistent. I like to make sure that we effective. I do not like to leave the families. I don't care what time of the night it is, because I know with myself, sometimes it's 3 a.m, 4 a.m. You can't sleep. You may have all kinds of thoughts and you need to be accessible.
Right.
So my thing is, if you can't get in contact with me, me and you talk a lot, and so I look forward to working with Lynette. So if you can't get in contact with me, always feel free to shoot Lynette a message, and then she'll communicate that with me. But keep in mind that I'm still in treatment too, so in order for me to help everybody else, I have to make sure that I take care of myself and my young daughter as well. So I'll be moving. When you don't see me, I'm still working. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to stop working, and I'm not going to stop advocating or being available and finding resources for people such as myself and other people that's dealing with it. I'm not going to stop.
And tell them again the gala.
The gala is Saturday, October the 20th. That's the date, right? Mm-hmm. October the 20th, 2018 at 1817 Central Avenue. And FYI, this gala is $40 cost. But if you don't have the money, don't let that stop you. Don't let that not have you come out. I'll give you a ticket as long as you know you're going to show up. If you need to support the resources there, it's not about a monetary thing for me. It's really solely about being a heart to help the people. I know what that feels like, and I'll never forget where I came from. We had that conversation. So if you need to get in, you want to come, and you can get to Charlotte, talk to me, talk to Lynette, and we'll make sure that you get in and just be there and come really to hear about the resources, eat some food, shake your hips a little bit, and shake your hips a little bit. But
my rump sugar is gonna be sitting down. I'm still tired, but it's gonna be a fabulous event. It's gonna be a lot of information. We have other cultures that are also going to be there. So it's almost like, I want to say, I haven't used that word in a long time, like a melting pot. Yeah. There's going to be all type of cultures that are going through the same thing, that are coming in together to experience and find out what's happening. But before I go, I want you to tell everybody your experience with the book so far.
This is not mine, but
she lost her book.
No, I did not lose my book. My book is home. I sleep with it. This is my new relationship. So I'm married now to this. Oh yeah. She just was the officiant. So long story short, this book it's been helpful. I opened it up and I read through it. And as you can see, I'm kind of like still in love with it. And I find strength in this book. It confirms some of the thoughts that I had. I know that I'm not alone after reading this book. I'm not alone. I have people that's in this book that confirm that we all had the same thoughts, and it's about forming that support group to make sure that you have it. So I'm not a medication person, but this is part of my medication. This is my regimen. I'm holistic. I believe that words are powerful, and it's some powerful words, it's some powerful stories, and some powerful women in this book. And I too am a survivor, so I like it.
But tell before we go, what's going on with your daughters in reading that book?
Oh gosh, so my daughter,
how were they before that? And then now after.
So my oldest daughter came to visit me from Maryland this week. And she wasn't feeling good. She came to me and she said she needed her Lexapro. And I said, well, some people do need it. And I was honest with her, and I'm a little bit of a comedian. And I said, well, you've been taking Lexapro for about 8 years and you still haven't hit wherever you need to hit. So maybe you should try something different. So I told her, you know, I had brought a book, I hadn't read it yet, and I told her a little bit about you. And so she took the book, and I know I started kind of peeking at her, looking at her, and long story short, I was like, I have some Lexapro downstairs, I'll give you some. So I never gave her the Lexapro, but every time I looked at her, she was reading this book. And so before she left, she actually finished just about all of it. And she told me that she was bullied. She was. She actually had confessed something to me about someone violated her in my family, and I never knew that. So that came out this week as well. She experienced emotional abuse, of course. She had experienced physical abuse as well. She experienced the sexual abuse, and she has the anxiety, depression, and she also had tried to take pills to take her own life. So every person in this book, she was able to at least relate to. She never had took the medication. She went with back to Maryland yesterday. Well, I think yesterday with a smile. And we are communicating, so it actually helped her verbalize some of those thoughts that she was feeling. So thank you for your book, and thank all of your authors for it.
I'm trying to tell y'all, get the book.
Yeah.
Pass it along. If you don't want to read it, get it as a gift to somebody. And I
good Christmas gift.
I definitely will be giving you another book to go ahead and give to her so she can have it.
Okay.
Because she actually did lose her book. She's not trying to tell. She didn't see the book for a couple days, so she saw it.
Somebody stole it.
She saw it in passing.
Yeah. And then I had to steal it back real quick.
That's sad. That's sad. But that's just how powerful a lot of these stories and stuff are. And I want to say thank you again for coming out and trusting me again with your story, with your family, with your life. And we're going to see this all the way through. I'm not going anywhere. And I want to say to the Focus Radio family, I love y'all guys. To Stevie and Tommy and Miss Erica and Troy, and to the rest of the Focus Radio family, to everybody that's out there, please share this. And if anything, at the end of the day, remember, love, love, love. But most of all, love yourself, because no one else is going to do it. But you have to love yourself. You have to be accountable for everything that you do. And you never know who's watching you. And you never know, again, who's watching you. Because when you do, somebody else is doing. Somebody else is watching. And they're imitating exactly what you do. So I'm not saying to be perfect. I'm not saying to be that. But I'm just saying, just keep it transparent. Keep it real. Because, again, somebody is watching, and you never know who might come up and just say, I need you. And until then, this is El Michelle with my guest, Miss Shantelle Evans. And I'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. on Focus Radio. Thank y'all for watching. Please share, because sharing is caring. I know who shared. And I'll be watching. Talk to y'all later. Peace.